investigation by Veritas in 1998, in which engine room fires were studied, it was concluded that engine room fires were reported 4 times more frequently aboard passenger ships in comparison to the rest of the Veritas fleet. This may be due to the confined arrangement of the engine room aboard passenger ships, however. Fires aboard passenger ships are also more likely to be reported fires than aboard other ships. There is no doubt that a large number of small fires never get reported. The most common cause of engine room fires is oil leaks, combined with a hot surface. This is the cause of 43% of these fires. In 32% of these cases, the fires were extinguished with the aid of CO2, or halon. 5% of the time, this was 10% of the engine room fires led to other areas. Some of the most common causes of fire in the engine room include crack in the starting air hose, leaks on flanges, bad insulation of hot surfaces, opening a door under pressure, bad cleaning procedures in the engine room, crank room explosion in which the unload located on the same side of the motor systems are. In serious fires, an investigation will be left to professionals or designated persons that have received special investigation training. In such cases, the ship's personnel should aid in collecting evidence to help with the investigation. However, even in small incidents, it is important to identify and report the causes in order to prevent similar and potentially more serious fires in the future. Witness observations should be documented and questions should be raised during the investigation, such as, were the proper routines for safe storage, hot work, ventilation, etc. followed? And when the fire broke out, was there a quick and appropriate response to it? Of equal importance is reporting other irregularities, such as, were fire door sprinklers and other safety equipment functioning properly, and was the area well kept and maintained? A report should contain information such as date and time, location, description of what burned, weather and other factors affecting the conditions on board at the time, who discovered the fire and gave the alarm, descriptions of what actions were taken to fight the fire. All fires, no matter size, must be reported and the set routines must be followed. The fact that many fires are not reported is unfortunate, since reporting could prevent other fires in the future and potentially save lives. There are many questions that must be addressed in a fire report. Click on the buttons below for details of what you need to include in a fire report. Persons that are relevant to the investigation are those who discovered the fire, extinguished the fire, coordinated the firefighting actions, have relevant knowledge, were victims, wrote the report. In the case of an arson fire, have a motive for the crime. Descriptions that should be included in the report include what actions were taken, what was the resulting damage, what crime, if any, was committed, what do witnesses know, what was done with the evidence, what land and sea organizations were involved, what is the chain of custody of the evidence, what happened. When describing the location of the fire, you must include where did the fire start, Where did the fire travel? Where was the witness? Where was the evidence collected? Where is the evidence stored? Where was the crime committed, if any? Motives and reasons also need to be included on in-depth reports, and these include: why did the witnesses make statements? Were the witnesses reluctant to talk? If there was a crime, why was it committed? Times that should be included in the report are: when was the fire first discovered? When was it reported? When was the investigation conducted? When were interviews conducted? In order to determine the cause of the fire, it is important to find out: how was the fire discovered? How did the fire start? How was evidence collected?